All right, y'all. Welcome back to another wonderful review of the Belle Collective with the Lean. I'm filling in for Chase today. He is out spending time with his mother, and we have Shantae here and Sammy ready to get it in. Y'all, what do you think about Latrice supporting everybody without being shady? And people just they go to support, but in their confessionals, they sing a whole different tune than what they're showing her in person. Sam.
I think the true colors are showing. That's really what it is. They gonna go and support. They gonna get their camera time. But in reality, I don't want to be here. I don't like this lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Shantae?
Latrice cannot trust these bells. Run, Latrice.
Mm-mm.
Run, girl.
She needs to put a bell around their neck so she knows when they're coming. With that
Right?
said, let's get started, y'all.
So you know I got to lean in.
Well, thank you again for tuning in. We're very grateful that you all love this show as much as we do. Definitely think this is one of the more underrated shows, and hopefully more people get into it so we can continue getting some new seasons. How are y'all doing today, Shantae and Sammy?
I'm doing good so far. The day just getting started though, so let's see how that go.
I'm definitely shocked to see you up this early on a Sunday.
Me too.
How are you, Shantae?
Oh, I'm excited to see both of you. And I'm glad that I get to be on a panel with Danny. I was waiting for this because I'm a Beverly Hills fan, so I always love your Beverly Hills content. So
Uh,
I'm like,
Thank you.
yes.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. I'm glad Chase is spending time with his mom and that I get to fill in for him. I'm thankful he trusts me, and also just thankful to be able to talk about this show because it's so good. So we'll just get it kicked off. So the opening of the episode, it opens up with Latrice and Letitia continuing their conversation from last week's episode. Latrice opens up about Cliff's insecurities, but says that they're working on it, and she reassures Letitia that there is nothing to be concerned about. Letitia says she will always have her back, and she became a little emotional. Now, in her confessional, Latrice says that Letitia is a great friend, and Latrice agrees that Cliff is controlling, but something has to change. Um, so then we have Latrice, Akeisha, and Soguchi's stepdaughters. They're dancing, and Soguchi grabs the two girls to talk. She tells them she knows things are rocky, but they're going to get through it, and she thanks them for coming. She then thanks everyone else for coming, and the event seems to be a success, and Soguchi is very happy. So what were your thoughts on this scene? I'll start with you, Shantae.
Well, I thought that the twins were very mature, probably more mature than their mamas because they clearly have a sense of time and place. I know they're not messing with Soguchi because of what she's doing with playing in court with their mom like that, and pressing charges and having restraining orders and all that stuff. But they kept it cute. They kept it classy. They were doing their little dance, with Akeisha and Latrice. So you can tell that, they're coming into their own. And I'm glad that they didn't, make a scene and they kept the energy positive. So that was good. But I thought that Letitia was not the right person to talk to Latrice because her and Glenn are not couple goals. I feel like Akeisha's conversation with Latrice was way better than Letitia's. And I know that, Akeisha is friends with Soguchi, so Latrice probably, side eyes whatever Akeisha was trying to tell her. But Akeisha's relationship is like the healthiest on the show. I think Soguchi and JJ also have a good relationship. But if I had to choose between taking advice from Letitia versus Akeisha, I'm taking Akeisha's advice because that's the marriage goals that I would want. But what did you guys think?
um, I slightly disagree when it comes to the conversation with Latrice. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
because her and Letitia are closer. Granted, Letitia's situation is not that much better, but I think
That
that
part.
she, yeah, I feel like she was more equipped, for personal reasons, like they've known each other longer, they have a tighter bond. I feel like out of all the Belle, she's the one that if anybody's going to get Latrice to open up and be somewhat honest about it, it would be Letitia. I do think she should take some of her own advice, but I do feel like she's the one that could have that conversation with her. When it comes to the twins, and was it the twins or was it Sanjay and one of the other ones?
I think it was Sanjay and one of the other ones.
Okay.
Oh,
when
what's
it comes
Sanjay?
to,
Okay.
yeah, I think the one with the baby didn't come because she's still she's
That's
probably
it.
one that, yeah. But it was nice to see them, get along for the sake of the event. But I wish that I wanted to see it like a not so much of a deep conversation in that moment, but for them to go a little bit into their situation and kind of meet in the middle more so, at least for JJ. Like she kind of thanked them for coming, and they tiptoed around it, but they didn't really dissect anything that I feel like would help them move along in the future.
Yeah, I agree. And when it comes to Letitia being the one giving advice, I'm split in the middle. Like, yeah, she's closer to Latrice, and all that. But I think one of the reasons that it's a good thing for her to give her advice is because she's kind of going through something herself. While Keisha is what I would consider, maybe relationship goals, like how their situation appears to be good. I don't know if she's really equipped to give that type of advice since we don't know that she's been through that type of stuff. But Letitia's husband and Cliff, they're I want to say they're one and the same, but in different directions and aspects. But they're both insecure, in my opinion. But I think Letitia is equipped because she did put her foot down with Glenn. Made him move out. All these things where Latrice just keeps taking it. So at least Letitia could be the example that when enough is enough, make him learn a lesson and make him earn you back. Is
True.
why I think she's pretty good. So as far as like Sogucci and her stepdaughters, I agree with Sammy. I do wish they got more into it because I don't know how I would feel about my stepmom pressing charges against my mom regardless. I don't even know that if I was Sogucci, I would do it because that's going to do nothing but divide the family. Nothing good can come from that at all. Like, it's almost a point of no return.
Yeah, and not even just that, they also, they were texting they were texting her daughter saying, when we see your mama, we're going to jump on her. So, like, we just going to act like none of this is taking place. So, I don't know.
But I guess it's like Shantae said, time and place. They saw that, serving the community was a bigger deal than what they have going on. Because trust me, it's not all good. They didn't even look her in the eye when she was talking. So that all is not well.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
So we'll move along. So in the next scene, we have Tambra doing her radio show, and Letitia is a guest to talk about her business ventures on the air. Tambra is uneasy about her coming, but she's trying to be the bigger person by supporting Letitia with the platform that she has. They talk about the Empowerment Brunch Tour, and Letitia says she is the queen of brunches, and they're going to start traveling all over the South, but they're kicking it off here in Jackson. They talk about her new book, Why Side Pieces Are Winning. And Letitia says she spoke about it from her own experience within her marriage. I'm glad she knows that there have been many side pieces. And Tambra warns her that she is, going to get into her business a little bit. And Tambra asked her, was the reason she wrote the book to help other women? And Letitia says yes, and it's definitely a self-help book. Letitia feels that by Tambra extending an opportunity to speak on her radio show, that they're on the road to recovery when it comes to their friendship. What do you think about that, Sammy?
I don't know if I would say that they're on the road to recovery. I think it was just a business thing that was beneficial for the both of them. I'm gonna ease up on Tambra because I've kind of been on her a lot, but so I can see why she would be hesitant. Like, y'all went and said with this whole man who was basically out to destroy me, and y'all were giving him, the spotlight to do so. Because I'm surprised he didn't come on camera with this situation. So I can see why she's tiptoeing. I don't think that this radio interview is them, trying to solidify their friendship. Again, it just worked for both of them. So,
yeah. Shantae?
I think that Tambra is trying to forgive Letitia, because if it was somebody that I really didn't mess with, I would not have them in my space or at my job, So I do think that Tambra's doing a solid for Letitia, and it is a sign that they're working on the relationship and a sign of forgiveness because Letitia did ask for forgiveness and apologize, which we have yet to see Miss Marie Monroe do, right? So I think it's the right step. And I also think that that book is not something that I would want to read. Like, how is that supposed to uplift you? This idea that, you know, side chicks are winning. I think in her life, maybe the side chicks were winning with Cliff, but nobody, at least I don't want to hear about that if I'm, you know, looking for advice on a healthy relationship. Why do I want to hear about the ops doing well? I don't know. What did you
I
guys
agree.
think?
I agree because it's also like why are we writing this book when you're still in the marriage? So is it like some kind of book about accepting defeat because the side pieces are
Yeah.
winning and you
Yeah.
still with the man? So it's like, what is the purpose of the book if you have not left the situation or you have not figured out some type of win for yourself within the situation? I don't get the purpose of the book either.
Yeah, I agree with you both. I will say that it is big of Tambra to invite her, but like you said, Sammy, it probably benefits them both. Um, I will say that when it comes to Letitia apologizing to Tambra, in my opinion, out of the whole group, I feel like that Letitia is the only one that when she apologizes, it's a sincere apology.
Yeah.
Um, Everybody else, when they apologize, it's just let me shut you up. But almost every time Letitia apologizes, she gets emotional. So it lets me to think that she is remorseful and feels bad about, what she does. Now, whether that stops her from doing it again is a different thing. But, you know, but they definitely, from both of their confessionals, they both have a different viewpoint as to where their friendship is. Letitia thinks they're on the right path, and Tambra is still very hesitant and doesn't know whether or not she should trust her. I'm sick of brunches. I don't want to hear about no brunch tour. None of that. I know Shantae is sick of them too. If I'm not at brunch, I don't want to hear about one. And that's just that. So
Yes. And brunch is a scam. It usually be like leftovers with eggs. Whatever the restaurant had leftovers.
I rarely go. When me and Sammy go to brunch, we rarely go for the food.
Right?
It's enough just to coat our stomachs. Even if we don't like it, we're going to coat our stomachs and then let the drinking commence.
Yes.
Because so Shantae, if you have not had a Sunday fun day in Houston, you are missing out. Whenever I go in town, me and Sammy tear the city up.
Okay.
So you definitely got to come down and we can get with Asia, and have some fun too.
Oh, sounds fun.
Alrighty, so on to one of the main stars of this episode. We have Latrice at Goddess Lengths, arriving at Goddess Lengths, and she asked Josh to set up for the Edge Control relief party. Party. And Josh asks how many people are coming, and Latrice says it's going to be a small group. None of the girls know why they're coming, but this is a surprise to remind them that she is that bitch. She doesn't think all of them will show up, but if the Bells are supposed to be supporting each other, she's going to invite them to everything, and she's going to continue to do so. Josh suggests doing it at the new location, but Latrice reveals that Cliff is not being consistent in the work, and it's running behind, so now her brother's doing the work. And he doesn't see, based on what we see him say, he doesn't seem to think it's going to be done by this spring. He's telling her it better be next spring that you're talking about. Because I kind of hollered at that part a little bit. Sammy, what did you think about this scene?
It's very telling that she has to go and find comfort in her brother because Cliff isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing. From staying at his house, now he's jumping in and helping her with the building because Cliff is just being an asshole. The most interesting thing I found about this scene was when she was saying that she invited everyone, and Josh was like, "You invited all of them?" And she was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You know they don't like you, right?" But she went back and ran her business down to everybody to Akeisha, who noticeably wasn't even there. So it was just like, okay, so I don't know. I also think Latrice, yes, she wants to let them know that, she has big things going on, but I think her biggest thing is to try to show that she's okay, being that she had that conversation with Letitia and she knows that they're speaking about her marriage. She wants to kind of go in there and put up a front like, all is well on my end, so you girls don't have to worry. But, I mean, if that's what she wants to do, go ahead and do it. But I think how the Bells don't too much care for her, she needs to kind of look into her close circle and see who really has her back as well.
Shantae?
Yes, I feel like Latrice and Josh also are still mending, because Josh did not get up to help her that much, when she was struggling with all those things at the door. And then he dipped as soon as he came. He's like, well, I'm going to go to lunch, And I was like, why is he so comfortable? Like, I feel like she should try to set a clearer boundary with him. But I think because they both are on the man and they both, felt like they wronged each other in a way with maybe Josh feeling like Latrice didn't have his back as much, and then Latrice feeling like he was running and telling her business. They're still not in that sweet spot of their relationship, So that scene was a little telling about the state of their friendship. But at the end of the day, I do think that Latrice does need Josh's help because Cliff is acting up. And I didn't like how she was saying like the construction was kind of being held up because of Cliff. Because if he cares so much, as an investor about the business, he should keep the construction on schedule or even ahead of schedule if he can. But you see, it's clearly about controlling her because he's holding up the business because he's not happy with her and wants to control her. So Cliff is too controlling, and he's even working against his own self-interest as an investor. So I feel like their relationship again needs prayer, and Latrice needs to, lean on other people. I'm glad she's leaning on her brother. Josh is, kind of being there for her again, though he should have helped more with all them stuff she was trying to bring into the salon. But yeah, I just don't like what we're hearing about Cliff. What do you guys think?
So when it comes, go ahead, Sammy.
Not even him, not even being in going against himself as an investor. He should want to be a supportive partner. I don't even think prayer is enough. Their relationship needs a divorce decree. That's what they need.
I agree because Cliff doesn't want her to be Cliff wants her to make it, but as long as it's dependent on him and that it'll never overshadow. Like he wants her to make it, but still need him at the same time. Like he still wants to, like both of you said, it's about control and power. And I think that's the most dangerous kind of partner. One that's willing to self-sabotage their own money and investments just so that they could keep you on the leash. That's crazy to me. Both of you are right. Josh and Latrice right now, their interaction seems very surface. It's almost awkward at times. What I really want to know is if Latrice hadn't come, how was he going to eat? Because he sure said now that she's here, he can go get some food.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Josh because I still don't think he should have ran to Akeisha with her business. I think that was very wrong. There were other people he could have talked to if he was really concerned about her, like Letitia probably, who is closer to Latrice. But what do I know? It seemed like that was done with malice. I don't think he had her best interest at heart when he was talking to Akeisha. But hey, So next we have Tambra at date night with Damon. Haven't seen them in a very long time together. It's been a couple of episodes, if I'm not mistaken. And they have a bunch of small talk, and Tambra keeps laughing with that laugh we all just love so much. And Tambra feels that Damon is doing great in boyfriend land because he's trying to do everything he can to keep her in the house. Tambra says she loves the place they are in, and she's getting used to living in the place that they're in. And Tambra tells her that he is becoming her herald to Catherine, referencing her parents' relationship. She acknowledges his effort and says she can't do anything mediocre, so it has to be as great as her parents' love. Sammy, what do you think?
I want to know, does Tambra really want to be with Damon, or is she just racing the clock? And since he's there, he makes the most sense. He's well established. Let me just go ahead and settle down and go for him. I can understand her saying she was getting used to the living situation because he even made comment toward it at the reunion that them moving in together was a bit much. I can get that. But I think that she was in and out because she's not too sure if that's the person she wants to be with. Like she's saying that he's being a good boyfriend now. Is he really, or have you just become comfortable with this is what it is? I think if she could find somebody else that she really wanted to settle down with, that she would. I think Damon is just convenience. Like she probably enjoys him, she probably likes him, but if there was someone else to come along, I think she would run if she knew that it would be secure.
Shantae?
Oh, Greedy and Tamra Sheree. I just feel like Tambra is definitely trying to make fetch happen with that cat cave thing. I did not like that as the answer to man cave. What I remember was in Braxton Family Values, if y'all ever watched that, one of them was talking about a she shed, and I've seen that more online. So I'm more down with the female equivalent to the man cave being a she shed, and Tamara needs to stop that cat cave thing because that's just not cute sounding to me. But I feel like her and Greedy, they're definitely the ones that are expecting. We saw when they're in the radio scene, Tamara's chest was just busting out of her shirt. And then later on, we talked about Latrice planning the event. And then when Tamara gets there, she pours water too. So it's clearly her, the one that's expecting to me. And they're kind of playing coy about it. But I think their relationship is in a good place. And hopefully, they get even closer as parents. But yeah, that cat cave thing gotta go. I did not like that.
So I was bored to death in this scene. They have zero. Like I don't see any romance, any sparks flying between them. I don't know if it's because even though they're just now together again, finally, and they've been in each other's lives for so long. So maybe there's a sense of comfort there that they don't have to, see all of that. But I do agree with you, Sammy. I think that I don't want to say she's settling, but Damon checks a lot of boxes for her. He is handsome to her. He's easygoing, but he wants kids and also doesn't have any right now. So I think Tambra really wanted to have a partner that didn't have any kids. So that I don't want to use the word baggage because kids aren't baggage, but relationships with another child's mother could be, very toxic and stuff. So I think Tambra is looking for something drama free.
I think Sogucci would disagree with the kids on baggage, but that's just what I think.
Well, I think Sogucci thinks that Selena's baggage, not the kids so much.
Well, at this point, it's a package deal.
Yeah, right. Well, not no more soon to see because Selena probably can't come around. But yeah, they're boring to me. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. Like even Tambra, who when she's in the scenes, I don't want to say she's a scene stealer, but she kind of is because of her voice is always so loud, projecting. So whenever she's in the scene, you always remember her. But even this was forgettable to me. Like it's like watching paint dry. Like I'm so sorry. Like
and that was a good catch, Shantae, because I didn't even notice that Tambra poured water instead of getting champagne with the rest of the girls. So
she did.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that either. So definitely a good catch. So now we have Akeisha arriving to her doctor's office, and Sogucci shows up to support her. Akeisha says she needs someone to ease her nervousness, but also to be a listener because she tunes out sometimes when being talked to. The doctor gets on her for going to another medical facility, and Akeisha says she just wasn't feeling well, so she had to go to her other primary care when she was in New York. The doctor says that today her BP is good, but they should consider the fact that it's been elevated previously. He says it can be related to stress and asks her if she's depressed. Akeisha says she isn't depressed, but she does worry a lot. She says she has been having this problem since her journey to have children, so she has this constant fear that something could happen to them. The doctor asks her if she'll try medication, but she wants to try that as a last resort. He then suggests a therapist, and she's open to that, and she really wants to get her anxiety and panic attacks under control. The doctor encourages Akeisha to make lifestyle changes when it comes to diet and exercise. He thanks Sogucci for being there, and Sogucci says, "I'll come with you to your next appointment. Just make sure you invite me to all of them." Shantae, what did you think about this scene?
Oh, Akeisha. I felt torn because she doesn't want the medicine, right? Even though she's clearly showing signs of anxiety and she's got the blood pressure issue. But on the one hand, I know that there's a trend for people of color, especially Black women, to be wary of doctors and medicine, like we've had tragedies like the Tuskegee experiments, you know, they're putting syphilis in people, and you
Mm-hmm.
see that the infant and maternal mortality rate for Black women is higher, you know, so
I,
I can see why she doesn't want the medicine. She's a little wary, you know, it tracks. But then again, you know, the lifestyle changes I think would definitely help her, like talking to a therapist and her putting down the pig ears and the low vibration plates that we saw her eating. Cause I was like, girl, like even her husband's plate wasn't stacked that high, but she's like, yeah, that's how
but
I like it, you know?
that was one of the things that made me start liking Nikesha. I didn't like her right away, but her
Yeah.
still eating like piglet sandwiches and all that stuff and pig ear sandwiches, it made her seem like less of a snob to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
She's still a snob. She's just a nasty eating one at this point. I get she's all the stress and everything, and she's trying to do the Fair Street Project and all these businesses, but health as well. So if she want to be around to enjoy all that, she really needs to make some lifestyle changes. I get the food is good, it's amazing, but you're gonna have to pull it back a little bit, or at least change how much you intake or what you do. Especially with you got the kids, like little babies here, so you want to make sure that you're still around with them. And given her family's history, she should really take it serious. I get not wanting to do the medicine. So if she doesn't want to do the medicine, then she's really going to have to switch up a lot of other things on her end to make sure that she can get better, or at least get control of it to where it's not damaging or nerve wracking
Yeah.
for the rest of her
That's
life.
that's one of the reasons I'm glad Soguchi was there, since Soguchi likes to work out and does fitness. I
Mm-hmm.
think that now Soguchi can use this as a girl. You don't want to be on them pills. You need to come do what I'm telling you, or at least try. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember when they were on that bridge, and Soguchi said run, Aikisha wasn't having it.
And I really enjoy the bond that they're building. It seems really genuine. So it's good to see Soguchi. It's good to see them both actually have someone that they're close to inside the little collective.
I I
Mm.
agree. It seems so genuine between them, but it's also the last person that I thought Aikisha would have became the closest to, uh,
Right?
because she's such a snob. And Saguchi definitely knows how to be classy, but she definitely knows how to let her hair down and just not give a damn what other people think about how she's acting. She doesn't care about performing for, you know, how some people feel the need to perform and be professional or classy at all times in front of white people and stuff like that. You can tell she don't give a damn. So it's definitely the the friendship I least expected to see, but it's probably one of the ones I enjoy the most.
I think
Oh
Keisha didn't
yeah.
expect it either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I think they found a common ground at first, you know, with just some of the interactions they had with the ladies and not liking some people at the same time. I think that was easy for them to bond. So
It was
Oh
like
wait, so
weren't they
no,
both
go ahead,
like
Sam.
both the two new girls on the second season? So maybe
mhm.
that's what it is. That's how it should be when they come on. Let's get in here and get comfortable with each other, so these other girls coming us, we can have each other's back. So maybe that's what it was.
Because at
That's
first I definitely
true.
thought it was going to be Aikisha and Letitia bond, you know, becoming close because they both had the Fair Street project on their mind, but that's actually what caused the division between them. So
Yeah, that made them enemies. So I have a question then. So Danny, for you, is Aikisha number one in like your ranking of the Bells? Because she's moving up in my ranking too to be like one of my favorites. Like, how would you rank the Bells in terms of like your favorites and then your least favorite?
so I know you made a comment about her, but I love Marie Monroe.
That's
Um,
number one.
she is so entertaining to me, always so over the top, dramatic. Um, and then I have Letitia second,
Okay.
Saguchi, then Aikisha. I have Latrice all the way at the bottom. She down
What
there with
about
Tam.
Tamara Street?
Tamara is the last. I keep forgetting she's a Belle because she's barely on this season. I keep forgetting she's a Belle.
She's not a
Honestly,
Belle. She's a stale. Like Tambra's this. I want to know what has Keisha moving up for you, Shante?
I don't know. I just feel like she's not putting on. Like she's just being herself, like Danny said. So for me, I have Letitia as number one. I still like her, even though I did not like that she went to go see that man that was messing with chemistry. Aikisha's gonna be my number two, and I do wish that Aikisha and Letitia would team up for the Ferris Street thing. But Sam, you're totally right. That's like gonna keep them enemies, I guess, for the rest of the time for now. I think number three, I like Latrice. I feel like people are being unfair to her. They're ganging up on her. Under Latrice, I would say Marie Monroe, since I still like her, but I think she's definitely a hater when it comes to Latrice. And then Sogucci would be after Marie Monroe because Sogucci has a little side to her that I don't like, which we'll talk about, more because she made some comments a lot in the end of the episode that
Yeah.
just turned me off. And then I think last would have to be Tamra Shuri because she hasn't been around this season that much. And her voice,
which I'm thankful for. Which I'm thankful for.
Yeah, I don't know what her real voice is. Like when she's already like, hey, it's not
She does this pause when she's talking.
Yeah.
And then
and then in the confessional, it's like dry face. She's like, I went to
yes.
Faces it out. She's like, she speaks the syllables.
And I'm like, oh.
And I feel like that came from training that she had to enunciate to be a radio person. Because I'm pretty sure that the way that we just talk, having normal conversation on the radio, like, we all talk kind of fast and stuff like that. We don't know. I think in the radio, you have to talk slow and enunciate so that you're understood. And it seems to be working for her because the show, the show she's on does keep getting ranked #1. So
yes.
What about you? What was your ranking, Sam?
Yes.
I find Marie the most entertaining, but she's my number 2. Letitia's number 1 just because I feel like she's the most authentic to me. Like
she's my number 1 too.
She's my number 1. So it's Letitia, Marie, Gucci, Latrice, and then Nikesha. I know I said I was gonna lay off camera, but I guess I lied because I'm not even gonna put camera. She's not even on.
Me and you, Sam, we have the same top 2, just in a different order. The only reason I put Marie in there, I feel like everybody is authentic on the show, maybe except Tambra. But Marie showed us a lot of stuff. I mean, I guess Letitia too, that most people would be embarrassed to share.
That's true.
And that's why I think, and she makes me laugh. Letitia don't make me laugh too much. I think that's why I have Marie first. Marie's over the top antics just have me hollering every time.
I've noticed that I like a bare minimum girl, like the ones that they can come in and they can play their role and they can still make sure that their presence is known without doing the most. And that's what Marie kind of loses me at times. Like sometimes she's like, I think this episode is probably the most calm I've seen her since the entire series started. So,
but you know why that is? She was determined not to act a fool at the brunching.
Well, I had to get it for her,
so now we have Josh and Latrice there at Goddess Lens, and the shop is set up for the event. Latrice again says she has a surprise for the girls. Letitia arrives first and says in confession that she does have a lot going on, but she definitely wanted to make time to stop and hear Latrice's announcement. They talk a little bit about Latrice being a panelist on the brunch tour and that she has been training Latrice on public speaking. Tambra arrives next and enters in her normal loud and squeaky fashion. And Latrice teases that she has a little surprise while, gesturing around her stomach. Sogucci and her daughter arrive, and Letitia says that her and Cliff have been talking about having a baby, but this ain't that. And Letitia actually looks relieved because her face when she rubbed her stomach the first time was like she was so scared. Latrice says she's been working her butt off and that her product is now nationwide at 120 beauty supply stores. Latrice says she invited them there because she considers them her family and she always wants to celebrate with the ones she loves, no matter where they're at, whether they're arguing or happy. And Sogucci and Latrice here seem to be having fun in person, but true to Sogucci fashion in her confessional, Sogucci said that Latrice seems to be reading her speech that was scripted and says she really doesn't mean any of it when it comes to caring about the other Bells. But she says she will continue to support Latrice because they are from the same hometown and she does want everyone to win. Shantae?
Oh, Sogucci. I wanted to like her so much, but she just came off as such a hater in this scene. Latrice clearly has an aspirational story. She's doing big things with her weave and her edge control now, so it's definitely a time where you should support and root for this, young woman who's making moves for herself, even if she has investors, because I think Soguchi was always, shading about who has the real money and the real power. But she's trying. And so this is a chance to support her. But instead, so Gucci's talking about her speech is scripted. And I really didn't like what you talked about. She's going to see what she got going on to one up her. And I was like, why? Why do you have to be so competitive? And I know society does encourage women to compete with one another, but it's usually more for attention, and when it comes to like love and relationships, women compete more. But this is just competition for competition's sake because they both, have husbands. I don't know what so Gucci will compete with Latrice about because they're in different lanes. So Gucci supposedly has the real estate and Latrice has the hair. So it's not like it is something to compete about. So I just don't get it. And I'm a little disappointed in Soguchi here. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I found it funny when she was, setting up her little announcement and they thought it was leading towards her saying that she was having a baby. Everybody was looking like, I know damn well you're not going to tell us you to let this man get you pregnant. So I thought that was funny. Josh was sitting over there like, girl, hurry up and tell him what the hell it is.
Yeah.
But as far as Soguchi, I get that it looks a little like Two-Face while she gets into confessionals. I can completely get that. But I don't feel like it's anything different if you think about it when you like any other of these shows, they get together a scene and they have to play nice and then they can kind of dish it out. But if you also think about it, I guess why I'm really just okay with her making those remarks is because if you consider the conversation Latrice and Letitia was having, Latrice out of her own mouth, like, I don't care about you girls. When she was talking to Joshy earlier in the scene, and Joshy was telling him, well, they don't like you, and that's why I'm gonna come. I'm gonna rub it in their face. Like, so was Gucci lying? It probably sounds bad to be said, but she somewhat was telling the truth because you out here telling us you love us. In a sense, Latrice is doing the same thing. She's telling Joshy one thing, and she's telling us in the confessionals as well. Like, they might not like me, but oh well, I'm gonna kill them with happiness. But then you're getting in front of them, and I'm gonna love you regardless. I guess at this point, we can just be okay with them supporting one another when it comes to the business because we want them all to win. When it comes to their personal opinions, they're both at this point, it seems to me, not fond of each other. So Gucci's just a little bit more louder with it. So it's no different to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think for me, it's just I just want Gucci to attend one event that Latrice has and not badmouth it out. Like Latrice just did her, her supporting her with her give back to the community. And there was not one shady moment there from Latrice. She stood by her while, got her to talk to the radio, like the news station person. Like, I just want one episode where she don't badmouth her. Because, like, even if the speech was scripted, she still wrote those words. You know what I mean? Like, she still put them out there. So I guess, maybe Soguchi wants action behind those words, but I don't know. I don't think that there's nothing that Latrice could do that will ever make Soguchi trust her 100% again. I think there's always going to be shade there between the two.
Yeah, I was just about to say when you said she wants action behind those. I don't even think she wants action behind words. I think she's just here so she don't get fined at this point. Like, I gotta play nice with you, so I'm gonna play nice with you. But when they ask me what I really feel in these confessionals, I'm gonna let your ass have it. I think that's what we're gonna see from them going forward, unless something really happens to make them come together and make amends. But as far as it being soon, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon.
They probably would have to have a common enemy in their group for them to bond, because that's usually how people bond. The enemy of my enemy, So, but I think the funniest part to me was Letitia's face when Latrice was saying, as you know, Cliff and I have been talking about having a baby. Letitia was like,
and what was that one little, it looked like a piece of rope or something hanging out of her wig. Like, what was that about?
I don't know.
I know.
That one, I was like, is that one of them Tyler Perry mics?
That's how you know that Latrice and Letitia aren't good friends, because she would not, in good conscience, let her friend come on camera with her wig like that when she has all that good weave, all them salon people around.
That was not Goddess Lynn.
Letitia had the Pippi Longstocking braids on the side. Like the color and the braids on Letitia was not doing her any justice because she's a beautiful woman. But I think Latrice was wrong for letting her get on camera like that as the hair expert. Like, they can't be friends.
And you know what? That's something kind of like that's where Letitia becomes relatable, because as we see later on, and then we see her profession, she can really clean herself up and look really, really good. So
yeah,
that was her like, let me go and get out this bed and go do this scene and come back home and finish cooking. That's what that wig gave.
I do think one thing I definitely can say is that all of the Belles, they're good looking women, regardless of in different ways. Like some are sexy, some are everyday, pretty, but all of them are really good looking to me. I can definitely say that about.
They're very Jackson when it comes to those clothes, though. But they are really pretty women.
Mm-hmm. So our final scene is the kickoff of Letitia's brunch. I mean, Letitia's brunch. Letitia says she knows this brunch will be different than her last brunch and that there won't be any fighting. Lots of people show up, and there's actually even a line wrapped around the corner of the building, and Letitia is very humbled by it. The Belles begin to arrive, and Sogucci says Letitia stepped her game up as this one is packed out and everything is decorated nicely and the plates are clean. Um, Backstage, Letitia thanks all the panelists for coming and reminds them to tell everyone to inspire the crowd and just to share their stories of how they made it. Latrice is very nervous as she feels she has a point to prove to the Belles when it comes to her speaking. And so all the panelists took a shot of vodka, but Latrice had to take a shot of Remy. Letitia is then introduced, and the panelist takes the mic to welcome the crowd, and then she introduces the panelists who come out. The panel begins, and they answer questions that came in from the crowd. All the ladies are being very encouraging and inspiring. And then we have Letitia coming and cussing and saying, nobody really wants to work a 9 to 5. Yeah, Latrice. I'm sorry. And Letitia doesn't like what she is saying because there's actually many 9 to 5ers in the audience who could be offended. And then we have, as if that wasn't enough, we have another panelist, the one in construction, coming in and insulted the audience by saying, no home in Jackson is worth over 400 grand. Letitia definitely wants to fix that immediately and calls Sogucci up to clarify as she's a realtor. And Sogucci says she is glad for the Belle Collective platform because she gets to showcase that Jackson has multi-million-dollar homes. Letitia closes the scene with some inspiration, and it definitely seemed to be a success. Real quick. Was Akeisha there, or did she stick true to her thing and said, I'm not attending one of these brunches ever again?
She was not
I
there.
don't think she was there. I saw Tamara Cherie. I saw Essie. Shout out to Essie.
I love
supported
Essie.
her so
Really?
in the audience. Yes. But no, I don't remember seeing Akeisha.
Marie and Essie remind me of the Whitney and Robin relation. Whitney Houston and Robin relation.
Yes. Essie was there. That's my fault.
Yes. Essie wears her shortcut very well.
Yeah.
Sammy, what did you think about this scene?
It was interesting. So it's good to see Letitia branching out with her brunches, or as Chase deemed it, the brunches across America. But it didn't look too much different. It was just more people, more plates, like the decorations. Nothing was really popping. So I guess she waiting until they actually get across America. If they still local in Jackson, she just gonna roll with the basics right now, I guess. When it comes to the panelists, we thought Marie was going to be the one bringing the chaos, and it actually was the construction lady. They had Marie sitting there like looking like, damn, when I do break up the brunches, is this how chaotic it be looking? Because she was just sitting still. You could tell she was annoyed as hell. I like that Sogucci came and cleaned that up, but I will say that when are we going to see the multi-million-dollar homes, Sogucci? Because you have not showed us. I know you said you're grateful for the platform, but you haven't really done anything great when it comes to those houses. Hell, I'm sitting with the woman now. Are there $400,000 homes in Jackson? Because I haven't seen any, not from Sogucci at least. I can go look on Zillow or something. I do think Latrice gets whatever she does is going to be magnified. Initially watching it, it's like, damn girl, why would you say that? It does come off offended. But when she posted later on, the entirety on Twitter, she kind of like, I get why that sound bite is bad. Even in whole, it kind of was like, why would you say that? But she followed up with, I get everybody wants to do this, but let's be mindful of how we do it. So I think just because it was her saying that, they were going to just take it and run with it to have something to bash her with, because it's Latrice, and like Josh has said, they kind of don't really care for her. So I mean, Letitia may care for her the most, but I guess not enough, because if anybody should have really got it, you would think it would be the lady that just came and tore down the whole city, and she not like so. But I don't know. I guess Letitia is just gonna have to prepare to fight her entire time when she's on the cast with these girls.
You know,
Mhm.
go ahead, Shante.
No, it's true. I feel like Latrice, she needs one of these. She needs a little folding chair. She needs the life size ones in the
Not
salon.
the
And
folding chair.
then, yeah, she can have a mini one for Cliff if Cliff, get a hand, just,
Now Cliff
poking
need the
him.
big one.
So
Right
Cliff
in
need
the
the
throat.
life
Right
size.
in the throat.
Cliff
That's
needs the
too
big
funny.
one.
You can use that one for sogucci. Get the real one. Get two of them for Cliff. Get two for Cliff.
Okay. So Cliff gets the big one, and then the Bells, they need a little something because they're hating on Latrice. I feel like they're trying to do Latrice like how in Potomac. Remember when Ashley tried to paint Monique as an alcoholic? It's the same thing because all of them was taking shots, and Letitia was the one that gave them the shots, and then they try to paint her off as some drunk. But at the end of the day, I feel like Latrice, she's not the best public speaker. And she went to Letitia for help with that before, so they know that she's not like the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, spiritual niece. They knew she wasn't very calm, so that's why they had the shots to take the edge off. And then they just like ripped apart what she was saying. So them bells, they're not her friends. She needs to back them off when she can. And yeah, it's hard enough with Cliff and what she got going on at home to have all these fake friends.
Yeah.
It's something else that kind of sticks out is so when she first made the remark, Letitia laughed it off. When the other lady made her remark, she was instantly knowing that it needed to be corrected. So why did she not feel that same thing when it came to Latrice? Did you know it really wasn't that bad, or did you have to sit on it, or what? Why did you not need to correct that right there in the moment when you got the 9 to 5? Hell, it was 9 to 5 workers that set up the whole display for y'all to have these people in here. So I don't know. It was odd coming. It was very odd to me.
I'm gonna tell you why I shouldn't correct it because there was nothing wrong with Latrice said to me. Those women signed up to come for a women's empowerment brunch for entrepreneurship. All those people in that audience don't want to work a 9 to 5. That's why they're there to be empowered to
Yeah.
make those moves. So there was absolutely nothing wrong to me with what Latrice said for the audience that she was speaking to.
Yeah.
You know, I think that out of all anytime these Bells have ever done public speaking or presented something, Marie to me is the one that always rises to the occasion. When Marie is talking, it's very professional sounding, motivated. Like you can tell that Marie has had to do a bunch of presentations in her life and she has the personality for it. Because Marie is better at presenting and stuff than even Letitia is. And it's her event, but Marie sounded better than her. Yeah, I'm with you, Sam. Sogucci has not shown us multi-million-dollar homes. Not even the home that she showed Akeisha, the one that Akeisha, wanted. Not even that home was a multi-million-dollar one. So, where they at? I definitely would love to see it because I'm pretty sure they are there in Jackson. Like every state has multi-million-dollar homes, regardless. Like every state has a prime real estate area, so I'm sure that they have them there. We just haven't seen them yet. But the homes that we have seen are beautiful. Because Latrice's home, out of all of them, would probably be the one closest to being $1 million with all the land that they have.
Them golf carts and stuff.
Yeah, that little gazebo out there where they can have try to have that romantic anniversary dinner and stuff. So that might be, the only one. And then we end the episode with someone getting an ultrasound, but we don't know who it is just yet. But I think we all know who it is. So that really wasn't much of a teaser to me. Was it a teaser to y'all?
No, it's Tamara Cherie.
Yeah, they keep teasing. They go ahead and just show us who it is already.
Because I'm thinking back more of the scenes that we've seen this episode that Tamara was in. We never really saw her. Even when we saw her standing up, we really only saw from here up. We weren't seeing much of her lower half.
What if that's another reason why she hasn't been around so much? Because she's been trying to get that kicked off. Like Kenya was saying, it can be very stressful when you're doing that IVF stuff. So maybe why did she remove herself from filming so she can make sure that was a success? And now that she's tiptoeing back in, now that it's getting kicked off, I don't know. So maybe it is Tamara.
Yeah, I just think that it would have been good to show that because you've already introduced that journey to us before that you were going to do that. So I think it would have been nice to see it because right now she does feel like an afterthought and like a friend of the show.
Someone had posted in our comments, one of the reviews that they said that she had a baby girl. I haven't been able to confirm that.
That's what Shantae said too.
Oh, so then yeah. Well, congratulations if it's true.
Yes, and also this is the I think the mid-season finale, so there's gonna be a break till September. So I think that's why they did the cliffhanger so that people don't lose the excitement about the show, and it's gonna be off until sometime in September. So the cliffhanger I see from the production standpoint why they did it, because they want people to keep thinking about it and trying to solve the mystery. But we know with the internet the way it is, people already are snitching about it. I think you can't tell from Tamra's Instagram and her social media. She's still hiding it, but there's a lot of people, in the town, like going on the comments, like Sammy said, saying that, oh, she knows she had a baby girl. So again, it's gonna be a little break. So I think that's why they did the cliffhanger. But we all
Well,
know with the internet set up the way it is, you shouldn't play those games. People are gonna
I'm
talk.
gonna be honest. If you want to keep me engaged and keep me excited till you come back, Tambra's not the one to do that for me. I would have rather seen a scene, like an ending scene with Cliff and Latrice, or Letitia and Glendale, or Sogucci and Selena, or the daughters. Like something like that would have kept me more engaged. Of course, at this point, if you made it this far, you're still going to watch the rest of the season. But trying to figure out who's pregnant is not going to make me excited for the first episode when we get back.
Yes.
I'm sick of Cliff. I'm sick of cliffhangers. I don't want him to start doing the whole like dragging it out like they do the Love and Marriage. Like the appeal, like the whole thing that drew us in was because it was a lot of information, a lot of stories packed in. But the seasons were very like short.
Because we only got good stuff. We didn't get this was a filler episode.
Because you only had so many episodes, you made sure that you gave everything of quality. So now, and it would make sense why these last few have been kind of filler, because now they got to stretch it out and give us 10 more. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out for them, though. I hope that maybe, if anything, it does good for the girls, because the show is really good. So if that's going to get more people to watch it or something, okay. But I just don't see the need for it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. It's been fine these last 2 seasons. So
My biggest hope when we come back is that Cliff cut that patch of hair on his head. I am so ready for that shake and go headpiece to go.
Mine is that a tree cut Cliff, not physically, but paperwork wise.
She just need to get her mother to do it, because her mother said she would have been knocked Cliff out.
Take him out to the gazebo.
And I believe her. So with that being said, thank you guys for letting me be your host today. I'll ask Chase if I can come back sometime and just be a reviewer, because I really love this show. We talk about it all the time. So everybody, don't forget to like and share this video. Don't forget that on Monday nights we have Atlanta, Tuesday nights New York, and Thursdays we post our Love and Hip Hop review, and Chase with the Lunch and Lean on Thursday. So we definitely have a lot to keep you guys engaged and entertained, and then we have a bunch of new shows around the corner. Heavenly Said, Married to Medicine debuts in November. The new season, Salt Lake City is coming, which I'm not excited for, but I'm gonna watch because Mary's back.
Mary.
And yeah, that's it. So with that said, y'all have an amazing Sunday. Go drink some champagne, some liquor, have some good food, and see y'all next time.
Enjoy the break.
Bye.
Bye.